जन्म में एक दूसरे के प्रति सद्भाव और मैत्री है। हमने आज ऐसे कई प्रयासों पर विचार किया है जिनसे पीपल टू पीपल संबंध और मजबूत हो और दोनों देशों के लोगों की, विशेषतः युवाओं की एक दूसरे के बारे में जानकारी और आपसी समझ और बढ़े। इससे भारत रूस के संबंधों के भविष्य की एक नई नींव का निर्माण होगा। फ्रेंड्स, मैं विश्वासपूर्वक कह सकता हूं कि भारत रूस ये मैत्री अपने आप में अनूठी है। मुझे पूरा विश्वास है कि इस विशिष्ट रिश्ते के लिए प्रेसिडेंट पुतिन की प्रतिबद्धता से इन संबंधों को और भी ऊर्जा मिलेगी और हमारे बीच प्रगाढ़ विश्वास एवं मैत्री और सुदृढ़ होगी और हमारी स्पेशल एंड प्रिविलेज स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप को नई बुलंदियां प्राप्त होगी। आप सबका हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। थैंक यू, स्पासिबा।
Heartfelt thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, spasiba.
Now it is my pleasure to invite the President of the Russian Federation, His Excellency Mr. Vladimir Putin, to deliver his statement to the media.
Дорогой друг, уважаемый.
Dear friend, Your Excellency Mr. Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, it is always our great pleasure to come to India because we know that here we will find an environment of sincere friendship, business-like communication and cooperation. Our nations and states have for a long time been connected through a strong relationship of friendship, mutual respect and sympathy. Yesterday, during the working dinner with Prime Minister Modi, and I'm, by the way, very grateful to you for this sign of friendship, for giving us this opportunity to talk in this very close format and to discuss the most important and relevant topics on the agenda, on the global agenda, and discuss the fundamental issues of Russian-Indian cooperation and to outline new horizons. And today, first in the restricted format and then with participation of delegations, we discussed the key areas of our cooperation. We've had a very meaningful discussion on the whole range of issues of bilateral cooperation. We have discussed in detail relevant topics of international and regional agenda. We have adopted a joint statement which reflects almost all aspects of Russian-Indian cooperation. We have outlined large-scale plans for a long-term prospect. A solid package of interagency and corporate documents we have just signed today have been prepared for the visit, and its goal is to further develop and deepen our bilateral ties in various areas. It is true that we indeed discussed during these negotiations our trade and investment cooperation, and broadening this kind of cooperation is of utmost importance for me and for Mr. Prime Minister. We have set a goal of increasing the goods turnover up to $30 billion by 2025 and the amount of mutual investments up to $15 billion. And in this context, we were pleased to note that last year mutual trade grew by 21%, exceeding $9 billion. And over the 7 months of this year, it has added another 20%. If we proceed moving at this pace, we will be able to reach our goal even before the set framework. Business circles of Russia and India maintain close contacts. They implement large joint investment projects. Representative Indian delegations took part in St. Petersburg Economic Forum and in the Eastern Economic Forum in Vladivostok. And it is my great pleasure to once again invite Mr. Prime Minister to participate in the next Vladivostok Forum as the main guest at the Vladivostok Economic Forum in September 2019. Russian-Indian Business Forum is taking place in New Delhi these days, and Mr. Prime Minister and I will deliver a statement to its participants, and we will support useful initiatives to develop cooperation in key areas of economy and finance. Deepening our cooperation in energy sector is one of the topics that we have paid a lot of attention to together with Mr. Prime Minister. We gave a positive assessment of implementation of interagency program of cooperation in the strategic area. Russia is a reliable supplier of hydrocarbons to India. We are successfully implementing long-term contracts through Rosneft and Gazprom to ensure to supply the Indian economy with energy commodities. India imports Russia's liquefied natural gas. We're supplying this gas from Sakhalin-1 field in which Indian partners own 20%. In June, the first batch of LNG was sent to the Indian market within the framework of the contract between Gazprom and Gas Authority of India Limited. We also welcome interest of energy companies from India to expand their businesses in Russia. We're ready to consider the possibility of cooperating within such programs as Far Eastern LNG, Arctic, LNG2, and also other projects to exploit natural resources of Siberia, Yamal, and continental shelf of the Russian Federation. We have discussed in detail the flagship project in the peaceful use of nuclear energy, Kudankulam nuclear power plant. The first 2 units of this nuclear power plant are gaining their full capacity. The 3rd and 4th units are being constructed. The 5th and 6th units are to be constructed next. According to the agreements that we possess, based on Russian high-tech technologies, we plan to build 12 power units in the next 20 years in India. We have touched upon strengthening our cooperation in industry and investment. We talked in particular about machine building, metallurgy, agriculture, medicine, pharmaceuticals, and biochemical technologies. We believe there is a good prospect for our joint cooperation in large infrastructure projects. In particular, Russian Railways company is ready to participate in the projects to build modern railroads in India. We have agreed that Russia will assist Indian partners in exploring outer space. Roscosmos Agency plans to participate in preparing Indian national program to launch the manned spacecraft. And of course, we have discussed in detail the prospects of our military and technical cooperation. For decades, Russia and India have been cooperating successfully in this area. We enjoy a truly close and mutually beneficial relationship, which is an inalienable part of the Russian-Indian strategic partnership. Our cooperation goes beyond supplies of Russian weapons. Our countries produce and develop jointly modern military products. We maintain regular contacts between ministries of defense and general staff of our countries. We improve our combat readiness. In August, Indian units participated for the first time in anti-terror exercises called Peace Mission 2018 that took place in Russia. India's servicemen are active participants of Army International Games in tank biathlon and in competitions of Alpine Special Forces. We have, of course, paid a lot of our attention during our talks to humanitarian component of our relationship. Russia and India have always demonstrated interest in each other's culture and spiritual legacy. This is confirmed by the huge success of the Festival of India in Russia, which will last until March 2019 in 22 cities of Russia. India will host Festival of Russian Culture. I'm convinced all these events will bring the peoples of our countries even closer. There are almost 10,000 Indian students in Russia, and about 100 scholarships are provided to the citizens of India annually. India is a popular direction for Russian tourists. In 2017, about 220,000 Russians visited India. We received 94,000 Indians in Russia. When discussing international agenda, we have confirmed that Russia and India adhere to similar or concurrent positions on the key global issues. Bearing this in mind, we have agreed to step up our coordination and cooperation at multilateral platforms such as the UN, BRICS, SCO, and G20. We will also cooperate closely to strengthen security and cooperation in Asia. We will combat such challenges and threats as international terrorism, drug trafficking, and trans-border crime. We have also touched upon restoration of economy and stable political development of Afghanistan. We have exchanged views on the situation in the Middle East. I have informed Mr. Prime Minister about the situation in Syria. We have also discussed the situation that came as a result of unilateral actions of the US to withdraw from the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action on Iran's nuclear deal. And in conclusion, I would like to thank Mr. Prime Minister and all of our Indian friends and colleagues for these very meaningful and constructive negotiations. I'm convinced that their results will help further step up strategic partnership between Russia and India and strengthen friendship between our countries and nations. As I have already said, Prime Minister and I will have a meeting with the representatives of business circles as well as with talented Indian children and their peers from the Russian educational
ये कलाकारी कि आप हम 2.5 रुपए कम कर देते हैं। मैं तो कहता हूं रिफंड किया जाए, जो आपने लूटा है पिछले 4.5 साल, आपने जो देश की जनता को लूटा है उसकी बात करें।